If you guys want to know the best method to absolutely make your corruption Zen tree massive, make sure you guys stick around until the end of the video, because I'm going to be going through 3 increasingly better methods that you guys can use to go ahead and grow your tranquil tree absolutely huge, with each method getting better and better. So make sure you guys stick around for the absolute overpowered method to get this tree absolutely huge at the end of the video. But for now, let's just start the video with the first method, which is just going to be gaining a crap ton of plants. If we go to my garden right now, we can see here, minus these things, because I was farming super seeds because I couldn't get an apple. But you can see we have a bunch of blueberries, we have strawberries, orange tulips, bamboos, and carrots. And we have all of these like basic plants placed just so we can get a bunch of tranquil mutated fruits for our tranquil tree. Because if you guys don't know how this works, you need to actually submit certain weights and certain mutated fruits. Now, most of the time, it's actually just these, such as like a tranquil apple that's 3 kgs, or there's like an orange tulip that's 0.05 kgs. But you guys need to make sure, because this thing actually resets every hour. So that brings us to a very important thing to say. But before I say that, let's just go ahead and look at the seed shop. If we look at this, just go ahead and buy out a bunch of things that are usually quite rare, such as pumpkins, because you might need these. Or like, I don't think you need to buy out carrots, because I've never used carrots. But I've used things such as blueberries, orange tulips, corn, and apples and bamboo for the quest. So make sure you guys buy those out, as long as a bunch of stuff as well. But my number one best tip for you guys in this event is to actually not submit your fruits just like randomly, because this tree literally just resets every single hour and gives you a bunch of corrupted. But the more high of a tree you get, the more corrupted mutations you get on your plants. So you guys really do need to make sure that you save up your tranquil plants, guys. You guys need to save up a bunch of them and then submit them all in 1 hour. Because if you do like 2 there and 3 in the next hour and 4 in the next hour, it's not going to be nearly as effective if you submit them all at once. So make sure you guys are saving them up. And yes, you guys could use hard work, or you could just beg people. Like, guys, I promise, I've been looking for this thing for way too long. So I have this tranquil apple, and then as you guys can see here, I could just go ahead and submit this thing just like so. And then now 7 corruption will spread next aura, and we actually got a Zen egg. And you guys can see sometimes they're actually shekels, so make sure you guys have saved up a bunch of shekels as well, just like that. Oh my god, another tranquil apple. But the first method of planting up a bunch of plants and saving them all at once is definitely a super overpowered method, but not as overpowered as the next method, which is going to be actually using pets. Now, there are a lot of pets which actually give the tranquil mutation, not to mention the actual tranquil mutation shard, just like so, and also the tranquil pet mutation over at the pet mutations machine. All of these things will heavily increase your chances, and there's one pet that is absolutely overpowered for getting tranquil. Now, this isn't really one of the methods. I'm just putting this in, but let's go. You guys can just steal plants from people, and you guys can get it just like that. And before we get into the pets, yeah, you guys definitely need to make sure that you guys place down a bunch of rare plants when they come in stock as well. So what I would highly recommend doing is actually going ahead and going to the stock channel in the Grow Garden Discord server and joining any of these stock servers, and then just go ahead and go to roles and make sure you guys have pings on for a bunch of like divines and stuff like that, like peppers and cacaos, because all of these are going to go ahead and help for these quests. Clearly, like, I literally need a cacao. But anyways, getting into the pets that will actually help you get these tranquil plants. The first one is this one right here. It's called the Kodama, and basically what this thing does is it has a 4.2% chance to give a plant tranquil. Now, that's like only on Zen plants after harvesting. So there's a bunch of different Zen plants that this can actually apply for, and most of the time it's not going to count for this, but maybe sometimes it will, like Zen plants on this thing. But it will definitely help you guys with your Zen tree. And by Zen plants, I mean anything added in the past 2 updates, such as the spiked mango, the soft sunshine, sakura bush, or any of the things inside of the Zen seed pack, just like this. Now, there is a super OP pet, which I'll be telling you guys about in a second. But the next one is probably the Chanso Zuru. This was just added like in the previous update. But if we go to view right here, you guys can see here every 10 minutes, every 15 studs in the radius, it has a 5% chance to turn into Tranquil, which is absolutely great for getting Tranquil plants. But probably the most overpowered method of getting Tranquil is actually going ahead and using a T-Rex. Now, obviously, this is only if you have one because they are pretty rare, but if you guys just place down like a bunch of common plants, you guys can see here, these common plants such as these strawberries, I have way more Tranquil on these strawberries than Tranquils on these bamboos, obviously. And like these peppers here, like none of these have Tranquil besides these who have like almost every one of them have Tranquil. And that's because easier plants have easier chances of getting mutations. So if you guys go ahead and have a T-Rex, it's going to go ahead and spray a bunch of Tranquils onto your other plants, which would be absolutely great. And that is easily the best method by using pets to go ahead and max out this tree. But probably the most overpowered method, which I'll be getting into right now, literally breaks this game and makes this cacao tree so easy to get. You see, every time you complete a cacao quest, you guys actually go ahead and get a free item. Now, what that item may be is completely random. They have things such like you guys can get Zen eggs, you guys can get seeds, but another thing that you guys can get is actually super unknown, and it's actually this thing right here. It's called the Tranquil Mutation Spray, and as you guys can see here, from doing 9 stages, I've gotten 2 of these bad boys. And what this thing does, obviously, it just sprays the Tranquil Mutation on one of your plants. So let's just say I need a Tranquil Cacao that's 15 kgs. Usually that'll be quite difficult, but literally all I need to go ahead and do is find somebody with a cacao tree with an appropriate 15 kgs, and then I can go ahead and use that spray and then steal it with Robux. And yes, guys, I know it's Robux, but like it's 37, bro. Like that is 37 cents, guys. Also, make sure you guys check the seed shop. Okay, of course there's nothing, there never is, but doing this with the mutation spray is definitely one of the most overpowered methods in the entire game to getting these Tranquil plants for your corrupted Zen tree. But once again, I highly recommend you guys actually just like leave your computer AFK. Like, do not try and get enticed with this early. This event is here for the whole week. So make sure you guys are AFK, stacking up a bunch of early game plants or just any plants from that seed shop. Actually just place down a bunch of them and wait for them to stack Tranquil, and do them all at once when you have enough plants and enough variety. Because like doing a little bit at a time is no good. You guys need to make sure that you submit all of them at the same time. And obviously make sure you guys hatch these eggs. I think I did actually get a couple of eggs from this, which is actually super good. Yeah, guys, I literally just got 3 from doing this quest. And I can go ahead and get Tanshazuru or any of those pets, which will give me a high chance of getting more Tranquil plants. But anyways, that's all. Make sure you guys subscribe to be part of the OG 250k subs. And I'll see you all later. Please like if you enjoyed. I'll see you later. Bye.